connections, fundraising and investment, who is joining us via Zoom from London. He has actually lived in the UK for 40 years. Thank you for joining us, Garba Sani.
Thank you very much.
Now what's the mood at the moment in the UK as Charles III is officially proclaimed king? Very briefly, please.
Yes, the general mood, of course, in the government cycle, in the official cycle, is different from that of the society, the general society. The government mood is obviously preparation for change, reflecting for what new era going. However, generally in the society, in shops, in offices, on the street, on the public transport and so on, business is as usual.
All right. Now, it was reported that the country's currency will be changed to reflect the picture of the king. What impact will this have on the economy?
Well, being an organized society, this is not going to happen all of a sudden. It is a gradual change that will follow. And that gradual change will take care of the likely impact that the economy will therefore suffer. What may affect the economy is not likely this change, because it's going to be gradual. When the new king's head is introduced in the new currency, the old currency will gradually be withdrawn, and therefore that may have very little impact actually on the economy.
So just a thought, do you think this is a call for everyone to start maybe working on disposing the available pounds in their custody?
Well, not here in the UK, probably outside, for people who probably have got stock of that. But here in the UK, they have a system where once the old currency is being withdrawn, whenever it goes into this banks and the cycles, it will simply not come out again, and therefore you keep spending the currency you use as usual, and therefore there is nothing for you to panic about in terms of the change.
All right. Now let's talk about changes. What do you think his reign as the Charles III will bring to the Commonwealth and the world generally? It's a new era.
Indeed, it is a new era. This is an era that is preceding, of course, the old era of 70 years of rule by the late Queen. And as such, it is likely to come about with changes that probably the Commonwealth will see. The 15 countries that the monarch is actually head of government will also see. And this sort of change could, especially for the 15 countries that are the king, or the king in this case is the head, some agitation may start in regards to turning into republics, and therefore getting away from the leadership of the queen or the king in this case, and therefore this is the sort of likely change for those. For the Commonwealth, there has been a call for equality and consideration for other foreign countries or members of the Commonwealth, or even if the Commonwealth itself actually is worth actually having, or it should be abolished at all, and people will therefore be agitating for that more. And King Charles is more likely to listen, having just come into power, and a younger generation, and therefore inheriting, although this situation, but with a complete new change, inshallah.
All right, just before I let you go, you've been in the UK for about 40 years now, and there are Nigerians like you in the UK as well as other Africans. What are the thoughts of persons like you in the UK on this issue?
Yes, of course, this comes on the back of the Brexit, that is the Britain having come out of the EU, as well as some changes that you can see happening. With the change of Prime Minister and the change of monarchical head of state, the likelihood is probably you can say non-indigenous citizens of the country are more likely to see a more relaxed atmosphere than there has been. And also, the fact that there has been a lot of cry in regards to the huge amount of money that is being spent on the monarch, that will be reviewed. Similarly, the society has actually not very much gone with the late queen in regards to unfortunate relationship with the late Diana. Diana, of course, who was hugely popular. The Charles could actually bring in some changes that will take the society in a more harmonious and united pattern than the Queen has done so far.
All right, thank you very much for your thoughts, Garuba Sani.
Thank you very much.
All right, Garuba Sani joining us from the UK has been speaking on the proclamation of King Charles III as the new king of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. He is the Director of External Relations, Fundraising and Investment. Now, the federal government has directed that Nigerian flags in the country and at other diplomatic missions across the globe be to fly at half-mast from Sunday 11th and Monday 12th September in honor of the memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who died last Thursday. In a statement by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the decision is to specially mourn the British Queen, who was also leader of the Commonwealth of Nations community. The statement added that the Queen was an iconic leader who exhibited great strength of purpose throughout her reign in the United Kingdom and as head of the Commonwealth. Let's move to other stories. The All Progressives Congress presidential candidate Asiwaju Bola Tinubu has congratulated Kemi Badenoch on her appointment by Prime Minister Liz Truss as the Secretary of State for International Trade and President of the Board of Trade in the United Kingdom. In a statement by his media office, the APC presidential candidate said Kemi's meteoric rise to party leadership, contender, and now senior cabinet member attests to her resilience and talent. Tinubu said he has no doubt that Kemi will prove her mettle in the new role and continue to serve as a glowing example of what Nigeria stands to benefit if the country continues with her commitment to building and leveraging young talents. Now, the future implications of broadcasting spectrum after digitization of the nation was the main thrust of a meeting between Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, NTA Management and Broadcast Network. The meeting was held on the sidelines of the ongoing International Broadcast Conference holding in Amsterdam, Netherlands. Anthony Fossen reports.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed, top management of the NTA led by the Acting Director General Abdulhamid Dembos, General Manager ITS Sadiq Musa, and the Secretary General of the Broadcasting Networks, Europe, the body responsible for managing, operating and maintaining infrastructure that produces terrestrial signals. At this meeting, the implications of what happens to the spectrum that will be eased topped the discussion. Last backlogged feel the spectrum should remain with the broadcasters.
2 meetings in Dakar with the African Union of Broadcasters, where we discussed what are the future implications of what is going on now. And we had a common declaration by 60 broadcasters in Africa that we want to retain the spectrum for broadcasting on the African continent. And that means that we should work for what is called a no-change decision at the World Radio Conference. So we will retain the exclusive access to spectrum for broadcasting.
If the idea of co-primary is to be sustained, then there will inevitably be interference in broadcasting. And that as time goes on, broadcasting will not be able to provide the services in terms of educating, entertaining, and informing people. And they will become quite unusual in terms of national emergencies. and national security.
With the introduction of digital television, we need more space, much more than when in the era of analog. So this is giving us a very much concern. The vacation of our so to say, right on spectrum is going to spell a doom. In fact, to our nations, because broadcast is very, very important to every given society, and so that is why we want to make a voice that's selling of this spectrum. We have to be very, very careful. How does it affect national security and also unity?
To this end, plans are underway to put together West African ministers of information as well as those saddled with communication to form a common front in that direction. From Amsterdam and the Netherlands, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
After watching the news on NTA International, let's pause for a break now. Just stay with us.
Latest entrant, latest technology. Welcome to Intel 4G LTE Advanced and experience super fast internet access today. Visit intel.com.ng or any of our stores in Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt to get started. Intel. Learn more.
Forget last season. Forget the winners and the losers. Forget every moment that stole the show. Because this is a brand new season on Gold TV. And it's going to be bigger and better than any season before it. With over 7 leagues and top competitions. Plus a World Cup. Make sure you get the best seats in the house this new football season. Get a decoder, GoTenna plus 1 month GoTV Max for 6,900 Naira only. Bigger season, greater football. GoTV. Love it.
Thanks for staying with us. Suicide is a social and public health concern. Globally, it says the World Health Organization says the 2021 to 2023 theme for the World Suicide Prevention Day therefore encourages countries to improve access to mental health services and availability of evidence-based interventions. Uche Ugochukwu has more.
Conflicts, disaster, job loss, depression, among others, are said to be associated with suicidal behavior, which the WHO says is the 4th leading cause of death among young people aged 15 and 29. The focus on creating hope through action aims to inspire confidence and hope in the estimated 700,000 people who take their lives every year.
As WHO, we pledge to continue supporting the country to implement priority activities toward mental health, including suicide prevention and control.
Experts in mental health who converged in Abuja to mark the World Suicide Prevention Day are optimistic that instances of suicide around the world can be reduced by increased awareness, reducing stigma, and encouraging pragmatic action.
Many of the people that are attempted or completed suicide have undiagnosed mental health problem.
The Federal Ministry of Health, through the National Mental Health Program, is taking action to develop relevant policies and to coordinate mental health interventions and services nationwide.
As unwanted as it is, discouraging suicide has become a social imperative for all. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
To be on track towards ending HIV, TB and malaria, at least $18 billion is required. This is the target of the Global Fund's 7th replenishment investment case to be launched in New York September 19th. Uche Ugochukwu again reports that a pre-conference held in Abuja to mobilize political commitment by countries.
The Global Fund investment since inception in 2002 has worked towards building resilient and sustainable systems for health, and strengthening pandemic preparedness and response. Records show that it has so far saved 44 million lives, reduced the combined death rate from HIV, tuberculosis and malaria by half in countries covered.
Continued global commitment to funding a robust response is critical for continued success. And further to that, investments we are making in health have a multiplier effect on the economy, education, private sector engagement, energy, and numerous other sectors.
WHO will continue to partner with the Global Fund, the US government, and other partners in supporting the country to roll out new tools and innovations toward ending the epidemic of the three diseases.
Nigeria has made significant contribution to the fund and has in turn benefited immensely, as evident in the progress in the prevention and treatment of the three epidemics.
Over $3.8 billion has been mobilized and invested in Nigeria via the Global Fund system.
We are committed to fulfilling our obligation to the citizens by progressively investing in their health, education, and overall welfare. I encourage other countries to rise up to this noble call by increasing their pledge by at least 30% to enable the Global Fund meet its target.
The pre-conference in Nigeria hopes to mobilize political commitments to increase contributions to the 7th Global Fund Replenishment Investment Case, with the theme, Nigeria's call to fight for what counts to end HIV and AIDS, TB, and malaria epidemics, as well as achieve universal health coverage by 2030. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Adeleke Momora, says socio-economic growth of the African continent cannot be achieved without collaboration of African countries. Dr. Adeleke said this when a delegation from Tanzania Commission for Science and Technology paid a courtesy visit to seek collaboration and technology transfer with Nigeria. The minister further stated that Nigeria is operating a global village where no one is an island, stressing that African nations should synergize, share knowledge and experiences in order to move the continent to greater heights. He said the National Office for Technology and Acquisition and Promotion, NOTAP, has the mandate of technology transfer and acquisition in Nigeria.
They have seen areas where NOTAP had tremendously done very well, particularly on impact to the economy of Nigeria, and they feel it's an opportunity to also borrow from our experiences to see how our experience would help them translate it into tangible, actionable plans in their respective country. What we believe is Africans need to come together. We have a lot in common, we share a lot in common, so we can complement one another.
Both organizations, NOTAP and the COSTECH, they are entrusted by our governments to deliver on the technology related in our countries for the development of our people. That's why we are here in Nigeria sitting down to see what can we do together as Africans to complement our activities for the betterment of our people.
The federal government has constituted a national committee to look into cases of torture by law enforcement agencies. Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, says the move is part of Nigeria's obligations under the United Nations Convention Against Torture. Members of the committee are drawn from security agencies, Nigerian Bar Association, and civil society organizations.
It's both in terms of funding, in terms of competition, in terms of institutional support. And our responsibility is to ensure that the impediments arising from our way are indeed addressed.
Office of the Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, in collaboration with the World Bank, has sensitized selected officers across all grade levels from 12 core ministries and departments on the importance and gains of integrated payroll and personal information system (IPPIS). Herman Jabini reports that it also familiarizes civil servants with the Special Governance Institution project of the World Bank.
The Human Resources Model is one of the pillars of the Federal Civil Service Strategic and Implementation Plan 2021 to 2025, FCC 25, which is to prepare civil servants for the journey towards transformation and the core government system, which contain the personnel information of all employees and support decision-making in HR management, while the Physical Government Institution project has the potential of consolidating on the achievement of the implementation of the IPPIS Human Resources Model in the Federal Civil Service. It is in the light of this that the capacity development of civil servants on the model is necessary. Head of the Civil Service of the Federation, who was represented, said the implementation of IPPIS in core MDAs seeks to achieve the overall objective of improving the effectiveness and efficient ways of storing personnel records and attaining transparency, accuracy, safety, and accountability in their management.
This is being pursued in accordance with the intention of government. The project guidelines design and framework within approved time frame and in line with the highest standards of public policy implementation.
Stakeholders say the effective implementation of the IPPIS HR model in civil service will lead to improved staff competencies and skills, enhance productivity and human resources administration for a result-based performance necessary for the repositioning the civil service. IPPIS platform is believed to have eliminated ghost worker syndrome, reduced personnel costs, and enhance economic planning, and will take the Nigerian civil service to a world-class standard that will accelerate national development as envisaged in the FCC 25. Herman Jabani, NTA News.
The dynamics of current security challenges in the country should be matched with a revolutionary process of digital solutions embedded in homegrown technologies. The opportunities available in this prospect are what stakeholders want Nigerian engineers to take advantage of. Kelvin Eunaye takes the story from here.
It was a conference of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And what occupied their attention was the very low level of application of engineering solutions in the form of digital technologies to tackling security challenges in Nigeria, as well as how engineers can play a more active role in the evolving digital economy, capable of creating massive employment for young engineers.
The progress of digital economy through the development of digital economic infrastructure in Nigeria will undoubtedly open up leadership for the design and optimization of information that will effectively combat the huge challenges in Nigeria. NSC Matama Bank admitted valuable remark to improve the infrastructural development within SCT and its environment by providing optimal engineering solution, which resulted into the production of traffic reflective envelope. This intellectual property has received trademark approval from Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment in 2021.
While new members were inducted into the Metama branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, the need for networking and continuous development was stressed. The conference, which climaxed the 2022 Engineering Week of the branch, was also used to celebrate the chairman and his team in a cocktail that featured special recognition for outstanding members. In Abuja, Kelvin Eunaye, NTA News.
Well, this is where we end the news, but before we go, remember to connect with the NTA in the campaign against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. I am Anne Jimuro.